What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. It has been forever since the last time I uploaded a video. Just a quick life update since my birthday. I finished my first year of grad school, and for a whole 2 months, my allergies started acting up. I was wearing glasses for 2 months straight. I felt like a potato, which is partly why I didn't really felt in the mood to film a video. And obviously right now there is a lot of serious stuff happening in the not only all over the world, but specifically in the United States, specifically stemming from Minneapolis, Minnesota. And I just figured that's also why I was not inspired to really film videos. I was really kind of burnt out. Um, so this might seem like a really lighthearted, funny video, but this is not to in any ways take away of the seriousness that's going on, and that I am aware, and I apologize in advance if I did not, because I haven't really been active on my Instagram account for this channel. I'm actually more active on my regular personal account, and also my Twitter. So I am very aware. I do know what's going on, and I will leave a bunch of links in the description box below. But this is not in any way, shape, or form meant to hide the fact of what's going on. I just wanted to make a fun video based on this season, and for something for people to watch to just take their mind off. But I figured today I would film this video because this season was crazy of 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days. Totally recommend watching it. Everybody's been talking about it since we've been in quarantine. Everybody's been watching this season. And it just ended. They just showed the last part of the tell-all, that couples tell more thing on TLC. So if you haven't watched it, I would totally suggest stopping this video and go binge the season. I'm pretty sure it's on TLC.com for free. And come back to this video after you watch the season. So there will be spoilers, just letting you know now. If you don't want any spoilers, please watch first, then watch this video. So yeah, if you don't already know, the couple Jeffrey and Varia from this season, I just wanted to say a few words about them, and then I'll move on to the rest of the couples. So if you don't know, Jeffrey and Varia were a couple featured on the show, but they were not invited to the tell-all, and they were not being recapped or covered by any like podcasters or like any TLC type of review recap channel. And a lot of the 90 Day Fiance fans were actually boycotting specifically Jeffrey and his storyline, which involves Varia. So I'm not going to specifically go into depth with their story and their storyline, because Jeffrey has a really sketchy criminal past, and it's pretty horrible. He's a horrible human being. He's literally a piece of trash. And I don't know why TLC continued to show his storyline for a chunk of like every episode. It wasn't like they were just sprinkled in there, and they weren't even invited to the tell-all. So I just feel like they should have just been edited out completely, because the storyline, I watched through their scenes when watching the episodes, and it does get you invested. It left it on a cliffhanger, yet we don't even know if they're still together or not. Personally, I hope they're not, because I did like Varia, and I think she deserves better than that. I don't think Jeffrey deserves to be with anybody, because he's really a horrible person. And it's kind of upsetting now to know that TLC knew about this, and they knew about his criminal past, yet they still casted him and featured his storyline throughout the show, while they knew all of this. And then once the fans dug up his horrible history of how he is as a person, then TLC said, oh, we're not going to cover them on recaps episodes, and we're not going to invite them to the tell-all. But my opinion, they should have just never been featured on the show. So that's all I have to say about them. And if you're not sure really what I'm talking about, like what happened, just Google Jeffrey 90 Day Fiance criminal record, criminal background, whatever, and you'll see some really disturbing things that he went to jail for. And they were things that he didn't even talk about on the show. He mentioned his criminal past on the show, but he specifically left out many, many details of what he went to jail for. So feel free to Google it and look it up yourselves. So I'll start with probably the most popular couple of this season, Big Ed and Rose. Big Ed is, I think, 54. He's from San Diego. He is the no-neck guy, the guy that everyone's been making memes about and TikToks and all that. And everyone's just been making fun of him, just like, he's a character. He's really something interesting to look at. And then you have Rose, who's from the Philippines, and she's 23. She's my age. I can't even believe that. And yeah, they're probably the most popular couple. So I'm just gonna go into my thoughts on this couple. When I first watched it, like everybody else, I kind of felt bad for Big Ed because, yeah, like, he has no neck. He's been single for like almost 30 years. He's trying so hard to find love again, blah blah blah. He even gave up his relationship with his daughter to go to the Philippines. But after watching their entire story, yeah, my opinion has totally changed. There were a lot of funny moments. Like, it was pretty entertaining to watch their story. Once he got to the Philippines and met Rose in person, there were a lot of funny moments, a lot of good scenes. But then, like, just after watching the way how he treated her and talked to her, like, it kind of leaves a bad taste in my mouth personally. I think that he is kind of disgusting human being. I don't know, he's just a creep. Rose, he totally used Rose. He kept humiliating her and embarrassing her on camera in front of millions of people. And I feel that she didn't deserve that. A lot of people may say, oh, well, she was using him for a green card, because you did see how she was living her life in the Philippines, and it was pretty it was pretty rough to see her house. It's not even a house or home. And the conditions in which she was living in, it was pretty rough to watch. So of course, logically, anybody would want to get out of that situation and try to come to the United States. But I do think that Big Ed is not all innocent at all. I feel like he didn't even really care about her. And watching how he is now, I feel like he just totally used her to be on a reality show. He wanted to be on the show because if you look at him now, he's like soaking up all this fame that he got from the show. He's doing cameos. Like, why? You're on 90 Day Fiance, dude. Why are you doing cameos? And why are people paying for cameos from Big Ed? I don't understand. But he's doing cameos. He's doing all like Instagram lives. He's been like invited and went on like podcasts with people. Like, he's just loving all the attention and the fame. So he is not at all innocent. He totally used Rose and this whole storyline because they were only talking for 3 months before he went to the Philippines. He totally used this whole thing to get fame, because I'm pretty sure now he's gonna try to be on other reality shows and be featured, because he is like a character. He makes good entertainment, like reality TV, but there is like a dark thing about him, like just the way he is, the way he comes across. He victimizes himself a lot and put all the blame on Rose, when in fact he actually lied to Rose about a lot of things, not just physical appearance. He lied about having more kids, and then he continued to embarrass her by telling her to shave her legs and giving her mouthwash and a toothbrush, saying her breath doesn't smell pretty. Like, I get the whole honesty thing. You want to be honest with your partner maybe, and because you want them to look their best, I guess. But have those conversations off camera. Don't wait till the cameras start rolling for you to just completely humiliate her in front of millions of people. Like, he knows everybody's going to be watching this. Like, if you really love her so much, why would you embarrass her like that? That was just totally uncalled for. So I was totally stick on Rose's side with this. I hope obviously they broke up, but I hope she finds happiness and love. And her son is the cutest, by the way. Prince, he is so cute. I hope she really finds, whether it be a guy or a girl, since I think she never labeled herself, but it seems that she's bisexual. but I hope she finds happiness with whoever she's with. The other really popular couple from the show was Lisa and Usman, aka Soulja Boy. um, Baby girl Lisa, as everybody calls her. She is in her 50s, I think, or 60s. She's older, and she's from Pennsylvania, and she is with Usman, who's I think 30, and he's from Nigeria. He's also a rapper, and his rapper name is Soulja Boy, like Soulja Boy, but without the L. But that's his rap name, and he's a performer, and he is just so funny. I think their scenes too made really good reality TV. They were very entertaining to watch. However, Lisa is from the beginning was a very horrible person. Like she treated Usman really terribly. The way she talked to him was really bad. She was very controlling. Got very jealous very easily. It seems pretty obvious that Usman is kind of scamming her and just kind of using her to go to the United States. But Lisa was so terrible that you felt bad for Usman, like that he had put up with all that. And they did wind up getting married, but I don't even know if they're still together right now. They keep taking breaks on and off because they just keep getting into fights. But one thing that came out after they wrapped filming, that Usman came out and said that she would always call him by the N-word. And I could see it. I could totally see she's very racist. She was always talking down about Nigeria and Nigerian culture when she was there. She was disrespectful in front of like Usman's family and friends. She didn't even care like who she was around. Yeah, I don't think I think I was reading too now that she just got fired. So that's a good thing to see that she won't be returning back. But you could tell right away that like, she is a very ignorant and racist person. And Usman deserves better than that. And whether they get divorced or not, apparently he's going to take more wives anyway, so I'm sure he's fine. But by the way, his songs are actually not bad. They were pretty fire. They got stuck in my head. So look up, if you don't know what song I'm talking about, it's a song that kept playing throughout the season, but just look up Soulja Boy and his songs. They're pretty catchy. So yeah, pretty much took Usman's side on all this, even though it does seem like it was kind of transactional, their relationship. Usman didn't deserve to be treated that way, especially if he was being called like racial slurs by her, which I find to be true, even though I don't know if she straight up denied it or what, but I could totally see her saying, like, calling him names like that. So yeah, especially with everything that's going on today in the world, it's a good thing she got fired. So that's all I have to say on that. The next couple I want to talk about is Avery and Ash. So Avery is, I think, in her 30s, and she's from Seattle, I think. And she has 2 kids. And what's his name? Ash is from Australia. Well, he's from another country near Madagascar he was born in, but he lives in Australia now. And he's also around the same age as her. And he has a son and an ex-wife in Australia. I thought going into this that they were going to be the most normal couple, and I actually was kind of rooting for them. I thought maybe they could make it work. I knew it was going to be tough because they both have kids, and I know that Ash wanted originally to go to the United States, but his ex-wife obviously wasn't going to let him take their son with him to the United States and take him away from his mother. Like, that wasn't going to happen. So I know that's already like an obstacle number 1. But watching through their story and seeing more of Ash's true colors, I think that he is not good for Avery. Avery she's smart. She knows she has her head on straight. She's not dumb. Like, she can't be manipulated like that. And the way Ash talks to her and just how he talks in general, it can be very manipulative, and he likes to kind of twist the story to make it look like he's the victim, again, victimizing himself. He seems very, very toxic. Like, whenever they would get into fights, just the way he would start talking to her, it was very toxic, very manipulative. He's that type of guy. Like, I'm sure you could already think of a guy in your head, the way that he talks, like, and behaves like Ash. And Avery, I just think, was too smart for that, and she shouldn't be putting up with that. She's got two kids of her own. She doesn't need Ash in her life. And apparently they're not together anymore since wrapping filming, which is good. I think they are very toxic, and I don't know, really. I can't really see anyone. The only person I would expect Ash to last a relationship with is someone who's easily manipulative, like kind of weak-minded, because he's very controlling and manipulative like that. Avery was not the one for him, and he was not the one for Avery either. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on that. Their fights were like interesting, like it's it went kind of deep. Like Ash is a little bit misogynistic and he's very traditional when it comes to gender roles, but I just didn't like the way he was talking to her and being so manipulative. And he's supposed to be like a relationship coach or whatever, and apparently he plagiarized his entire relationship seminar that he did, which was trash to begin with anyway. So he just seems like a faker, and he's one of those sneaky guys, like on the low. Like on the surface he seems like a really good guy, but once you start getting like on deep levels with him, you really see his true colors, which is what happened. The next couple is Stephanie and Erica. So they are the first LGBT couple finally to be featured on any 90 Day Fiance show. Like, it's about time. We're in 2020. I don't know why it took this long. Stephanie is from Yonkers in New York, and she's 29. And then Erica is from Australia too, and she's like 24 or 25. And they both identify as bisexual, by the way. Just putting that out there. But this was another relationship I thought maybe, oh, they could last. And I was kind of rooting for them as well. They seemed really cute together, but just from the beginning, it's just Stephanie has a lot of issues. Like, I don't know, she needs to work on herself first before she should get into any relationship, I feel. And you could really see the change in Erica from the start of the season to the end of the season. From the start of the season, she was so happy and bubbly and with her friends, and then towards the end, like when Stephanie and Erica got into that massive blow up, she was just so sad. You could see it in Erica's face, like she totally changed. Stephanie brought out the worst in her. I know she has that illness and everything, and yeah, that's a huge thing, but how is Erica supposed to feel though? If you say how serious your illness is, but yet you still traveled all the way to Australia, you still got on a plane and went all the way to Australia to see Erica. So if I were Erica, I would be like, well, it must not be that serious. Like, I would be confused too. And maybe Erica should have Googled it or whatever, or she should have asked Stephanie more questions. Who knows? But I feel like Stephanie wasn't fair to Erica and didn't give Erica a fair chance. So definitely on Erica's side with this one. It's not like Stephanie is so, like, such a garbage human being like Big Ed and Lisa, but she was just so, like, she just has so many things she needs to work through first. Just she's very reactionary, but she's very, like, she overreacted a lot to a lot of little things that shouldn't call for such a big reaction. And she's not really the type to kind of talk things through with Erica, even though she tries to say she is. So if I were Erica too, I would be like so confused. Like, what do I do? You know? I just personally feel Erica really didn't do that much wrong. Like, I really don't think she did anything wrong. The coming out scene was probably one of the best scenes of the season when Erica came out to her parents as bisexual. Her parents are like the sweetest. They're so nice, and their reaction was like the best reaction you could get after coming out. Her mom and dad were so loving and accepting. And it was kind of sad to see Stephanie kind of come out to her mom, and it was like a different reaction. Her mom was not as accepting as Erica's parents, but hopefully in time. And then I don't know, when it comes to Stephanie being bisexual, a lot of people think that she was faking it the whole time to be on the show and that she's not even into girls like that. But my thought is, who am I to really to question someone's sexuality? It's like, I don't even know that girl. I don't even know this girl. And it's only on camera, like a little snippet of their lives. Like, it's not like I grew up and talked to Stephanie in real life. So I feel like it shouldn't be anyone's place to really question her sexuality. based on um, a reality show, how she is on a reality show. Because maybe it's just feeling she needs to work through herself. I just think she's just bad at relationships in general, whether it be with a guy or a girl. I really hope Erica finds a really nice girl or guy that can make her really happy. Because it didn't seem like Erica wanted so bad to go to the U.S. This was one of the only relationships where like Erica was fine to stay in Australia. So hopefully she finds like a cute Australian guy or Australian girl and they live happily ever after. The next couple is David and Lana. Oh my gosh. This couple, especially David's scenes with just David, were really entertaining as well. Um, there was a lot of funny moments, a lot of cringeworthy scenes, but like it made amazing reality TV. Um, so David is like in his 60s. He's from Vegas, and then he's been in a relationship with this girl Lana for 7 years. And Lana's supposedly 29. I don't think she's 29. She looks a lot older than 29. And she's from Ukraine. He only talked to Lana on this specific website where you talk to Ukrainian women. And he has to pay to be on that website and talk to her. Um, so that sets it up right there. So this guy's obviously loaded. I don't even know how he has so much money, but he said he spent over $100,000 within the last 7 years for the website to talk to Lana. 7 years on a website that he has to pay for. If you were in a relationship with someone for 7 years, don't you think you would have their phone number, their social media, their all that, so that you don't have to pay to talk to them on a website? So yeah, that was happening the entire time. And David has been to Ukraine 3 times to meet Lana, and she didn't show up. So he was just kind of left stranded alone in Ukraine. And then the fourth magical time, um, she shows up in Ukraine to meet him. And I was shook, like everybody else in the world. I really didn't think she was gonna show up at all. I thought this whole time he's being scammed. She's probably not even a real girl. He's probably talking to some creepy dude from Ukraine or wherever in a basement. But she actually showed up, and I couldn't believe it. At first, when I was watching in the beginning, I was like, what if she actually shows up? And then I'm like, no, there's no way she's gonna show up. Like, she's not even real. And then she actually showed up, so I was shook. That whole relationship, oh my god, when he first saw her in person, he was so creepy. He is such a creep. He kept moaning in her ear and like hugging her and smelling her hair. It was disgusting. It was disgustingly cringy. But like it was amazing to watch for reality TV for the show. But you could tell too, a lot of people said that TLC paid Lana to show up, and also the Ukrainian website people made her show up, probably paid her to show that, hey, the website's real, it's not fake, you're not being scammed, they'll actually show up for you. So I feel like both of them together paid Lana hella bread for her to show up on camera and like meet David in person. But David was incredibly creepy the entire time when they got to meet, and that big leather coat he walked around in, oh my gosh, it was just, he was a hot mess. All their scenes were a hot mess. And she just looked so uncomfortable the entire time. It was just so funny. She was like, you never really got a clear answer from David. Like, even on the tell-all, they asked, oh, are you guys still engaged? And he said yes. Lana didn't show up to the tell-all, by the way. And he said yes. And then they were like, so you guys are still together then? And he was like, no, not right now. Pretty much he said, we're engaged, but we're not together. So this guy is still being scammed. He's still paying for the website, even after he got her an iPhone for them to talk. She claimed that she can't use the iPhone on the keyboard because of her long nails. And this guy's believing it. It's actually really sad to watch. Like, there's actually guys out there really like this. And I did kind of feel bad for him, but then I kind of saw his true colors a little bit too coming out throughout the show. The way he talked to the private investigator, I was just like, okay, there's no need to get nasty. And he felt so entitled and on his high horse. Like, you're the one being scammed here. Why are you, like, don't be talking to the private investigator like that. You're paying him to help you. So what are you doing? And then we found out at the tell-all that he's been to Ukraine like over 20 times before he talked to Lana, to just go meet Ukrainian women and probably just go have sex with them in Ukraine and all that. They're called like sex tours or something like that. Like if these creepy old guys, they sign up and they talk to these women on the website, and then they actually go to tours on Ukraine to try to meet Ukrainian women and I guess sleep with them, because I'm pretty sure they're not really going there to date them. So he's been one of those guys, those dudes. And he's been on this website for a long time talking to like thousands of Ukrainian men before meeting Lana. So this guy is just as much of a creep as Big Ed is, to be honest. He's just like really in denial and dumber, even dumber than Big Ed, because he's just so enamored with Lana and thinks that they'll be together, and it's just not gonna happen, David. It's not gonna happen. The last two relationships, like, they shouldn't even been on the show, to be honest, because they were not even real relationships, and their storylines were incredibly boring. Like, they were so dragged out for the whole entire season. And the first relationship is Yolanda and Williams, the Williams. Yolanda is like in her 50s. She's also from Vegas. I don't know what it is with old Vegas people. Who's with Williams. His name is Williams, and he's in his 30s, I think, and he's from the UK. So I'm putting air quotes because if you haven't watched, obviously this is a scam. This is not like David and Lana. They met on Instagram. They were talking. She liked his profile picture and all his pictures and stuff. Then they started talking. She's never seen him in person. He claims his camera doesn't work, so they don't FaceTime. She tried to call him on the phone to go to the UK and meet him in England, and he didn't know the name of the airport. He didn't have a British accent. He sounded Nigerian when they were on the phone. And his account kept disappearing, and then she got an email saying, "Oh, you better send me money or else I'm going to expose your private pictures," meaning that she sent nudes to a random stranger over Instagram that she's never met in person. So this was actually kind of sad to watch. I did kind of feel bad for Yolanda a little bit because apparently her husband had just died, even though he was in jail for a long time. I think he still was in jail when he died, and it wasn't clear. It's still sad, like that was still her partner, you know, and he died. She lost a bunch of weight, and she was probably feeling good about herself, and she just got too caught up in the gram. She didn't know about the gram, she didn't know about scammers, and she's lucky that her kids were able to stop her from sending this guy any money, or for even trying to go meet someone who wasn't there. She was ready to go to England and meet this guy who was not real. But it was just too dragged out, this storyline. They could have easily done this in like 3 episodes. It got too dragged out to the point where every time she came on the screen, like, I was just like, ugh, annoyed already. Like, I didn't want to watch her anymore. And I think a lot of people felt that way too. And in the tell-all, it was pretty much boring. She was just there. The storyline just got dead, like, it got stale real fast. So they shouldn't have dragged it out as much. That's really all I have to say about them, because it wasn't even a real relationship, so. This is not Catfish. This is 90 Day Fiance, so can we stop with the Catfish storylines? I'm sick of them. And then the last couple is Tom and Darcy. So we all know Darcy. She's been on 90 Day Fiance hella times with Jesse, and now she was with Tom. She's like 45, and she's from Connecticut. And then Tom is like 40s or 50s, and he's from England as well. And they were never even together from the start of filming the season. So there was, I don't even know why this was another pointless storyline because they were never together. They had already broken up when filming started. And he was already seeing some other girl the entire time whilst trying to string Darcy along and try to, I don't know what he was trying to do, get her back or whatever, but this was another storyline that could have been done in 2 episodes. Once they met up in New York, after that, that could have been it. Like, they could have just left it at that and ended it right there. Because then it also got stupid and boring and dragged out. That's just what I really have to say about them. I mean, Darcy's Darcy. Like, if you've been watching 90 Day Fiancé, you know how she is. But Tom was also not, he didn't really treat her very well, and he was he reminded me of Ash, like that type of guy. He was very sneaky and also manipulative, and he was very, like, victimizing himself all the time. Like, he'll always point around like, oh, I'm so sorry, Darcy. Like, I try to be friends with you. Like, I don't know what to do anymore. I'm done. Like, I don't hate you, Darcy. I don't hate you. Like, I want to be your friend. Like, he just completely turned it around and made Darcy look like the bad guy. Meanwhile, he was the bad guy the entire time. Meanwhile, he's seeing a whole other girl during this whole thing. But Darcy's not completely innocent either. Like, she could be a lot to deal with and a lot to handle, and she could be very, I don't know how to quite say it. Like, she needs to work on herself too as well, and her daughters, and focus on her kids before dating another guy, another foreign guy. I think she needs to take a break from all that. But she didn't deserve being mistreated by Tom. She wasn't innocent, but she didn't deserve any of that. Same thing with Lana too. Like, even though David was a creep and all that, I still didn't feel that bad for Lana. Like, because Lana was not innocent. We knew she was scamming the whole entire time. She was probably scamming a whole bunch of other men and making that money, getting that dough. So she did what she had to do to get her bread, even if she meant putting up with creepy David and stuff. So she didn't even sleep with him, by the way. So she didn't even have to do that. But yeah, so Darcy too, like, she has her moments, but yeah, she just needs to work on herself. And Tom can go away. He's another thirsty one that I think loves to be on camera, loves the attention, loves the fame. He's always on Instagram commenting on it, like all these meme accounts and everything, and he takes it very personally. It kind of reminds me of Jax from Vanderpump Rules. If you watch that show, like, on social media, he's just all over the place and trying to fight someone on Instagram especially. So Tom can go away. So that is pretty much it. I covered all the couples. I didn't want to make it too long, but this season overall was pretty good. A lot better than the last season of 90 Day Fiance that I covered in a previous video. And my favorites people, since none of these couples are really together anymore, and I'm not counting David and Lana, by the way. That does not count. My favorite people from this season were Rose and Erica. I think those were my top two, and Avery a little bit. But after the tell-all, my likeness for Avery kind of went down a little bit, if you watch the tell-all. But Rose and Erica were like my top two. And pretty much most of the Americans were trash on this show. Like, they turned out to be the trash people, except for Avery. But for each other couple, like, the Americans were not good. Putting Americans in a bad light, but whatever. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about this season. I didn't want to do a mukbang because I know I had a lot to say, and I know that I would barely be eating, so I figured to just try to do like a review type of video. Let me know down below if you want me to do other review types of videos like this where I talk about other shows. Right now I'm watching The Other Way from 90 Day Fiance and Happily Ever After from 90 Day Fiance. There's a lot of 90 Day Fiance shows going on, and I also watch all the Bravo shows, like shows on the channel Bravo. So just let me know if you want me to do more review videos on current shows that are on, since we're still in quarantine. But yeah, this was a fun video. I'm glad I got to sit down after a while and film a video for you guys. I finally put makeup on again after 2 months. Literally, my birthday was the last time I put makeup on. I even did my hair. I haven't had my hair curly in so long. Don't forget, I will be putting links down in the description box that feel free to check out. And stay tuned for more videos to come. I will definitely try to get back on a regular filming schedule and uploading schedule. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.